Thank you for joining me today, everybody. I'm the Space Master Adam Coble, and you are here, I hope, to watch some factions mush together. There's a big battle going on. Though I gotta say before we start today's faction turn, it's a bit like a badly made burrito. All the spicy stuff is jammed up at the back end. So we're gonna be the first several turns. In fact, most of the beginning of the faction turn, there's just gentle movements, just the wash of faction credits against the shore, and then at the end of the turn, we have much to do. If you watched last month's faction turn, also, can I just say, we're getting close to having been doing this a year now, everybody, and that's pretty damn cool. I had that realization this morning. I was like, oh, this is faction turn 9, which is actually 10 months of faction turns because we had the Christmas ceasefire. So we're coming up on a year of this business, which is pretty damn cool. So thank you for coming along on this space journey with me. But if you watched the last turn, you know that we ended with a bunch of alterations to the rules. Just the rules of how a particular faction works, right? So the houses minor, made up of several smaller noble houses, which normally could not function on their own. I gave them at the end of the last turn the option, if they so desired, to attempt, brave little toasters that they are, to set out on a space journey of their own. And so we'll find out today at the end of the faction turn what that means for the universe, because we got some changes coming, as I imagine you can imagine. So let's get into it. If you are, for whatever reason, you're not caught up on the politics of the universe, and you're behind some months, and you don't want to get spoiled, then cool. But this is where that happens. And otherwise we're ready to go. We're gonna do this faction turn thing. So let me get my spreadsheet ready here, and we will take a little look at what is going on. All right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. So to begin this month's faction turn, we have an announcement of a pre-faction turn activity. The Valen Ascendancy, facing down the wolves at their door, decided rather than let their enemies seize control of their great library, chose instead to burn that mother down. It's a bold move. It's a move that I imagine some in Acheron Row will revile them for. I had a really interesting conversation with the rep for the Valen Ascendancy about, I was like, you can do this, but like destroying such a significant source of information and knowledge in the universe, that is a serious move. Are you sure you want to do this? And they were like, fuck yeah, we are. And they walk backwards into the fire, flipping me the bird. So this is what happened. So the Valen Ascendancy, mechanically, what they did was they scrapped a base of influence on Hakani with enough hit points to dissolve the faction. So over the next month, those who wish to remain, who are in Vela now, who wish to remain so, they can join me in the funereal proceedings of their former noble house and then Ascendancy. So at this line, let's see here: scrapped, BOI, destroyed, self, destroy Slef. Okay, that's it. The Ascendancy is no more. Now this doesn't mean that every single person in Vela, jumped off a cliff. This doesn't mean that this is like mass suicide. This just means that the government, known as the Valen Ascendancy, dissolved, right? They destroyed some of their assets. There was probably some debate or battle about it, and we're gonna work all that out over the course of the next month. But yeah, an interesting choice. An interesting choice. So that's the Valen Ascendancy. I've marked for this turn at least. I've marked all of their assets on the order in black, just so that we know where their rubble may remain for my reference, right? And then on the tracker, obviously, I have marked them in black here as well. So I'll have them, I suppose. I think I might just leave them on the tracker, not the assets themselves, but I think I'll leave the factions up so that in the end, when we're all done, we'll just have this massive list of any faction that's ever existed. So yeah, so that's a bold move. This is our first loss. This is our first faction destruction, and it comes at the hands of the faction itself. So here's to you, House Vela, aka the Valen Ascendancy. Thank you for all of your contributions as a faction to the faction turn. Thank you for your lore, for your politics, and for your scrappiness. We will see you on the other side. Good game, well played. I hope that the folks that are in the Valen Ascendancy after this month, I hope that they find a new home out there amidst the stars, like the noble space battleship Yamato. And then in terms of the lore, this is going to be a massive event in game, right? When we get here. So after all the STO stuff, or sort of mid STO stuff, we will absolutely see the ramifications of this in the universe. The destruction of, like, the withdrawal of the Ascendancy was a big deal, and it slowed down Imperial trade, and it put a ton of pressure on finding other solutions. But like, this is like a major oil producing country dropping a nuclear bomb on themselves, burning their oil fields forever. Like, this is serious, and the House Pixis and Fornax and all of the other nobility is going to have to work pretty hard in the lore following this month to create their own maps. Space travel is going to become very dangerous for a time, and so when we get to this point, depending on kind of where the characters are in play, yeah, getting from world to world is going to be slower or more dangerous. So yeah. So that's gonna be a thing. And I know that Pixis is saying like, oh, we already did it. Guess what, Pixis? You didn't. You're working on it. There's been no point where I have said you stabilized the universe. Paths is not that good yet. So you're working on it. And that'll be the drama of this section, right? It's like, when can we trust this new system, and when will it be safe? Yeah, so everything is going to be very, very dangerous, and I'm really excited about that. It creates a new twist for the universe, and that's what I wanted. That's what this whole thing is about, right? So cool. All right, let's get on with the faction turn. Our first faction for today, beginning us off on the faction turn, is the Deathless. The Deathless, who we have seen so much of in the live show. The Big Skull. So the Deathless, they were 13th last time, and now they are first. They started at the bottom, and now they're here, and now we're gonna see what they have to say for themselves. So let's see here, Deathless. They are, I believe, no longer in the middle of AC's planet. I think that is clear. So let's clear that formatting there. There we go. Okay. And they have a ton of money. Let's give them some more money. So you get another 5, so up to 37 now. All right, big money, Deathless. And it looks like this turn, they're going to take the use asset ability action. A popular action. Makes sense. So let's go and paste in what they're going to do and move all their stuff around for them. So the Deathless are going to activate their pre-tech logistics on Demnoff to buy a post-tech infantry asset, which costs them 12 credits. All right, so post-tech infantry on Demnoff. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering why some of these assets are yellow, these ones are locked down until the end of the term because of the new trade, the way that trade works now. So they have summoning sickness, and so we'll use that color to indicate that from here on. Okay, so where were we? Deathless. The Deathless pre-tech infantry. Oh, that is a significant military unit. Okay, and let me just check here. Let me check something quick here for this tech. Oh, is it post tech? Okay, I was like, that's it's a pretty serious one. I was just about to overcharge them. Not industry. Yeah, I was about to way overcharge them for that. There we go. Okay. All right, so infantry. Let me see. Okay, post-tech infantry. Cool. Post-tech spaceman. That's right. Okay, I'm just checking one thing real quick here regarding this. I'm just checking to see how we rolled on credits for bribery, and if it's build or just move. I think it might be only move. I'm looking for the P tag information here. Let's see. Yeah, I think they have permission from Maker. I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, that's right. To buy or import those assets. And yes, I remember seeing that it is build. Yeah. Okay, cool. Also, there is a new goal for Deathless, so let me set that up because they need to have one of those. So they're going to take the planetary seizure goal. Here we go. Okay. And Deathless, post-tech infantry, got it there. Good. Okay, and that cost them 12, bringing them down to 25. There we go. They're going to activate their extended theater on Lovelace to move a monopoly on Tootham to Andophiel. Okay, so Deathless, monopoly on Tootham to... oops. No. Go back to normal. There we go, to Andophiel. Perfect. Good. Okay. So those guys are squared away. All right, and that costs a credit, bringing them down to 24. And they're going to activate the Monopoly Mercenary Tag ability on Andophiel to move it to Hroa. Okay, good. All right, so... There we go. And this is the one producing on Tootham, so this guy can move to Hroa. They're the same. Okay, all right. So the Monopoly moves to Hroa. Using their mercenary tag, they're going to activate the post-tech industry mercenary tag on Koche to move it to Chipe. This is it's fine. They're moved. There were two monopolies on there. Plus, these guys have mercenary, so their movement is a little different. You can check the ruling stock. We talked about that 2 or 3 months ago, I think. Okay, so post-tech industry. Yeah, here we go. On Koche. Moving to... I don't think we've ever seen this planet before. Chippy. In the Phalest system. Chippy? What is going on Chippy? Let's have a look at the Phalest system. That's 005 over here on Sector West. Chippy is a inert gas planet with no native biosphere, several million inhabitants, tech level 2. It is an ocean world, and it is a night world, a world of eternal night ocean with an inert gas atmosphere and a warm temperature. Right, you can go fishing on Chippy. Good. All right. And now Chippy has some industries. Are you building a navy, Deathless? And not like a space navy, just like a straight up actual navy. All right. So there you go. They've moved their post-tech industry to Chippy, and then they're activating their post-tech industry on Ragnhill. Yep. Okay. Post-tech industry on Thorg. I don't even... Is it a puppy mill or... All right, so post-tech industry. This is the roll and get credits one, right? Post-tech industry. Post-tech. Pause-tech. There it is. Is this the D6 one? Here it is, yeah. Roll a D6 and get some shit. Okay, here we go. Drink. The result is a 1. The result is a 1. You lose a fac cred. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You lost a fac cred. I know. You can't afford it. It's your last fac cred. There you go. So you're down to 23 now. All right. I know. How will the Deathless go on? How will they go on? And yes, yeah, you'll get XP for you seize planet. You finished seizing this turn. So yeah. So that means that you did seize planet on, let's see. What were you? You were that's right. Officially seizing Thorg. That's right. Okay. So let me make a note here. This is all fine. Activated this. This was rolled a 1. Lost 1 fac cred. And then completed seizure of Thorg. And the Thorg, that completion gives you how much XP is Seize Planet worth? 1, right? Because there was nobody resisting. Yeah. Cool. Nice. All right. Boom. Good stuff. All right. And that means that the Deathless, and I'm not keeping track of all of the various like planetary government here. You know what planets you're in charge of. You know. So now you officially own that planet. Thorg belongs to you. Congratulations, I guess. But the Deathless do have they have an announcement regarding this turn that I will read for you. Operation Silicon Valley, great success. Message approved for sector-wide distribution. It is our great pleasure to announce that progress is being made on Thorg. We have been working hard day and night with the local populace to set the basis for a brighter, stronger future for the planet. Unfortunately, due to a resurgence in various dangerous species, we find ourselves obligated to restrict the Imperial quarantine even further, for the safety of all those in the Empire. Do not come to Thorg. I like it. I like it. Good stuff. Thank you, Deathless. Congratulations on your new planet. You did it. All right. So next up in the faction tracker, and I can clear that guy. There we go. Next up in the faction tracker, we have the Church of Humanity, Repentant. So the Church of Humanity, Repentant, they are up next. And let's see, they are going to, well, as always, they're going to get some money. So CHR, here we go. So you have 18 credits to begin. You have you have your party machine, and you get 5 extra credits. So that brings you up to 24. They're going to take the buy asset action. Okay. Number 2. Buy asset. They're going to buy party machine on Cabina, and that costs them 8 credits. I know my math is like slowly improving. God, now you got me 16? Yeah, got it. Okay. You got me freaked out. All right, let me give them what they are owed. So Humanity, Church of Humanity, Repentant. Yeah, I think so. Chad is mentioning this. I've always thought of Thorg that way too. It's pretty much Borderlands. Yeah, it'd be a super fun planet to go and check out. Thorg sounds awesome. Yep. Yep. Okay. Church of Humanity Repentant. You get your party machine. All right. Congratulations. And you get that on Cabina in the Benili system. And the Church of Humanity Repentant has a statement. Nice, simple turn. We, the Church of Humanity Repentant, embrace our siblings at the Concord of Peace and united in temperance unveil our deeds before the judgment of the divine and our fellow man. We call for all of the repentant faith to join our voices together to extend the hope of reform that the empire of man might one day change and pray that an enlightened emperor will be elected to guide the empire through this process. We are the Church of Humanity Repentant, and we do not surrender to the false song of the shadow from Andophiel, nor shall we ever willingly turn members of our flock over to the judgment of the unrepentant. We send this message to any and all who flee the recent conflict and seek a haven of like-minded followers. You need not face the injustice of the empire alone. We ask not for mercy, for the only mercy that matters is that of the divine. Damn. I like it. I like it. It's a good one. Excellent. Yeah, the conflict between the two religious factions is, of course, because you know me, one of my favorites. I'm excited to see how that continues to play out. So thank you, Church of Humanity Repentant. Pretty rad. Okay. All right. So number 3 is the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant. Confederation of the Upright Vagrant is going to be taking the Use Asset ability. They're taking the Use Asset ability. So let me copy that over, and I will adjust your turn for you. So Confederation of the Upright Vagrant starts with a big old 2 Vagrant. I imagine that this is going to be an interesting time for the Upright Vagrant. This is the thing that even as privateers, I imagine there are among them. I've always thought of them as wolves, right? Like equal parts kind of noble predator, but also like opportunist and scavenger. They have this kind of like rakish, and some of them are certainly villains, right? But some of them I think of themselves as like swashbucklers, right? And I love that they've been brought into the fold, but those villainous elements are still probably there. And so like the idea of the death of a faction means that I imagine Vagrant ships kind of all over Hakani. Now, not like fleet ships, but independent operators or members of the Confederation, just like going to check things out. Like it's fine. We're just gonna go and see what's up. I think that's quite cool. I also think of the Confederation as a place where like members of other factions who are, because remember we built them as being like dissatisfied with the status quo, and the status quo has changed, but the idea that like if another faction dies or if people leave their faction, if I were playing and I was in a faction, I was like, my in-universe character doesn't like this faction anymore, I'm gonna go join Vagrant, right? So I imagine that there are, former nobles, there are escaped red dogs. Like if you want to go looking for someone, I imagine that the Confederation would be a place where you would want to go and search for them. So our pirate friends in the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant, they're going to get 5, so they're at 7 fat creds. Yeah, the UPC is also a choice, but the UPC I feel like demands a certain level of like political intent, whereas Vagrant is just like, we don't like this, we don't like whatever we liked, we're off, let's go. All right. So anyway, they're going to use their assets, and let's mark what that looks like. So there we go. So these guys are going to activate their covert transit network on Pamita Cha, and they're going to move their demagogues and their psychic assassins. Got it. Okay, let's take a look. And I know I ask every turn, but I don't think that this is a cost money one. Here we go, Vagrants. All right. So, demagogues from Demnoth to Tootham. Going back to Tootham. All right. So the Vagrant demagogues leave, and they go from Demnoth off to Tootham. And then the psychic assassins also Tootham. Look, it's a nice place. Yeah, I don't believe that. And then they too will activate their post-tech industry on Imperial Prime. So let's see. I love that the Vagrant own a business on Prime. Like, that's so funny. Like, what do they do? What is the lore for that business? Vagrant Incorporated. Like, what do you guys? Yeah, what is your? It's a hot dog stand. I'm actually legitimately curious. Like, it's pretty good. Little ramshackle embassy for the Confederation, like a little like Knights Templar kind of hall. Yeah. But what do they do? What do they make? It's great and super cool. I like it. Let's see if they make any money. Right, it's a drink. It's a brunch restaurant. Okay, this is a D6. They got a 3, which I believe gives them 1 fac cred. It does. They get a fac cred. All right. Roll the 3. Gain +1 fac cred. Nice. Well, whatever it is, it's making you money. Whatever that business represents. You now have 8 faction credits. And that completes the mechanical portion of your turn. Thank you, Confederation of the Upright Vagrant, who will leave us with this statement. As the Northern Fleet returns to Tootham, the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant highlights the actions of dread Commodore Bassam Vidar, a lowly crewman not but a year ago, now through his own strength and initiative, directly responsible for delivering unto House Crooks the dangerous war criminal called the Advocate. His rise to prominence embodies what it means to be vagrant and reminds us that the promises of the STO were built on delusions and the bones of the innocent. Respect is not given, it is taken by strength of will. Yeah. That sounds like there's a story there somewhere. Cool. I gotta look that up. And yes, no, not this. No dab this turn either. Never. All right. Good. All right. So next up, the 14 Red Dogs Triad. The 14 Red Dogs. So these dogs, they are number 4 in the order, coming down from number 2. And they are going to have some credits. So let's get them started on that. All right, so they start with 14. They're above their wealth cap. And they have pre-tech researchers, but they have a party machine, which gives them, I think we ended up, I did this math twice. I think they end up with +2. They have 16 now. I think that's how that works. Okay, good. All right, and then their action is to use asset action. Okay, so yeah, this one was a big moving things around one, and I feel like the Red Dogs might be preparing for something. I don't know why I think that, but I have this suspicion that they're preparing for something. All right, so they it costs them. I'll just take all their money right now. So it costs them 4 credits to do all the moves that they want, and then we're gonna move some of their stuff. So let's see. Don't just make stuff up, Adam. I don't know what I'm just guessing. I'm like a psychic. I got precognition. And by that I mean I know already what's going on. Okay, all right. So they're going to use 2 post-tech industries. 2 post-tech industries, which means 2 of these guys. And these are the ones on Stakaklu and Liorgioli. Nope. Yep. All right, a 1 and a 6. So Stakaklu costs you money, but Liorgioli gets you... I like a big bowl of Liorgioli. But it works out. So you end up gaining 2 and losing 1, so net 1. So that's good. All right. So let me drink. Let me do the thing here. All right, so rolled a 1. Rolled a 6. Net gain +1. All right. So there's brings them up to 13. And There we go. Okay, and then they're going to covert transit network to move the Demagogue from Honglu to Kama. Ooh, Demagogue's going on vacation. Demagogue's going on vacation. All right, so let's see. From Honglu, this one, to Kama. Yeah, you know this guy fucks. He's going to pick up some of those Gildos. Okay. And then we move covert shipping to move pre-tech researchers from Bora to Gleipnir Inc. All right. Let's see. Bora. Here we go. Pre-tech researchers heads off to Gleipnir Inc. Good. All right. And then they're going to move the shipping combine on Andophiel, one marketer, and one monopoly, all to Lovelace? Andophiel. It's all three of these, right? Shipping combine, monopoly, and marketers. Yeah, it's all of those, and they're all going to Lovelace. Okay. Lovelace, huh? Interesting. Okay. All right. And then lastly, they are moving surveyors from Gats to Lodestone. Okay. Yeah, what could possibly be going on Lovelace? What could possibly be going on? Okay. All right. Good. Perfect. All right, so I've marked that one as done. Thank you, Red Dogs Triad. The Red Dogs gave me something really cool to show you, which I will play at the end of the turn. There's actually been a lot of really neat stuff this last month in terms of like ephemera and like I gotta say all of the stuff that Prism, I think it's Prism and the Red Dogs have been working on. Around like Honglu and like flipping the script on me where like I put something in the game and they were like, cool, we're going to use this to further our own ends. So doing that, like that lore stuff. Yeah, it's been really cool. They've been using the loyalty brigade to justify some other stuff in their lore. It's been really fun. Yeah. So thank you for that. Those little news reports have been really neat. Cool. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Who's up next? The Houses Minor. All right, so down from number 3 last turn. I say that like they're fucking like a record on a top 100 chart. Let's see. Houses Minor. Okay. All right. So the Houses Minor, they are starting at a balance of 3 credits. They have an income of 7. That brings them up to 10. They're going to take the refit action. So they're taking the refit action. Okay. But of course, because they're the House Minor, they have some moving around to do first. So let's begin with that. Oh, go. Paste. There we go. All right. So they're going to move some things around. And thankfully, I have this in 2 places so that I can look at both the order and the sheet. All right. First things first. I'm the realist. We're going to move the 7 hit point popular movement from Orpheus to Aomori. Popular movement. 7 hit points from Orpheus to Aomori. Done. Okay. They're going to move the commodities broker from Orpheus to Aomori. Okay. They're going to activate the transit web between Orpheus and Tootham. I'll take away all your credits at the end. Orpheus and Tootham, moving the covert transit net from Orpheus to Tootham. Okay. They are going to refit the popular movement on Aomori into a hostile takeover. Wow, that's cool. All right, so the popular movement turns into a hostile takeover. And that restores its hit points. There you go. Okay. And then activating the transit web between Lodestone and Tiber. Oh, the fort. Did I grab the wrong one? Okay, let me see here. Oh, that was the one in Almori. There's another one, right? Where is it? That one. That's the one. There it is. Thank you. Boop. Boop. Okay. All right. And that's back. It's back to normal. Yes. Okay. Yeah, because they wanted to get the most hit points out of it. Good call. Smart move. Okay. Move the pre-tech manufactory from Tiber to Lodestone. So pre-tech manufactory, Tiber to Lodestone. There you go. Let's see here. And then lastly, move commodities broker from Lodestone to Almori. So commodities broker from Lodestone to Almori. All right, there we go. So that's the new state of these things. And I love the idea of refitting the popular movement into a hostile takeover, because it's like you're just repoliticizing them. It's like not even a personnel change, it's just a dogma change. Where you're like, here's your new job. It's really cool. Okay, cool. And then the houses minor. I'm gonna read part of your statement, but the rest of it is a spoiler for later. So houses minor, I'll save that last bit. Actually, you know what? I'll save the whole thing for the end. So I will read this at the point in which it becomes relevant. Let me just make a note. There we go. Okay, I added it down to the bottom here. Great. Okay. So thank you, Houses Minor, for your orders this turn. All right. Next up in the faction turn order, you can't even see their name. They're so far down in the list. Their orders are so big. You can't see it, but it's the church. It's the damn church. So last time they were at number 1. This time they are at number 6. They would like to take the buy asset action. They're going to take the buy asset action. Big old churchy boys. So a lot of movement, a lot of transit web stuff going on, and they're buying a new asset on Lovelace. So let's process their turn. So first of all, they get money. Then the big eye, fucking Sauron, scans the horizon. Let's see, High Church. You get another 8, which brings you up to $30. You're gonna get your Panopticon Matrix stealth check. So where is the Panopt Matrix right now? One cannot simply be told where the Matrix is. It's on Demnoff. So let's do the search. What's on Demnoff? Anything stealthed? No. Okay, there is nothing stealthy on Demnoff, which means that the Panopticon Matrix scans the planet, plunders the minds of those within, checks out all their metadata, but finds no hidden units on Demnoff. And then we begin activating the transit web. So they're going to move. Here we go. They're opening up a network between Lovelace and Yakia. So that network opens up, and we're gonna move a ton of shit. So the High Church moves their cyber ninjas to Yakia. They're going to move the Demagogue to Yakia. They are going to move the Party Machine to Yakia. The Eye of Sauron has fallen on the planet Yakia. They're going to move their Transit Web, their new one, to Yakia. They're going to move their Hostile Takeover to... let's see. Hostile Takeover from... Yakia. Is there a hostile takeover to move? I think there's a hostile takeover on Demnoff. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, that's right. They're buying it first. Yeah. So that's why it's missing. I did this. I skipped over that one line. So let me give it to them first, and then we'll move it. And actually, I'll just put it where it belongs. So High Church. I'll still take over. I'm like, where's this thing they haven't bought? But I intentionally waited. What a dummy. All right. So they bought it, and then they shipped it to Yukiya. Cool. Okay. And that brings their balance down to 9 credits total, because it's 10 to buy the Lovelace hostile takeover, and then another 9, another 1 to move all that shit around, and then another 1, which brings them down to 8 to do Demnoff and Yukiya. So Demnoff, they are moving the Panopticon Matrix. They're going to move the Book of Secrets and the Popular Movement. Okay, and then they're bringing this hostile takeover to Yukiya, and they're moving their Popular Movement. Okay, so just everything. The High Church is going on vacation to Yukiya. So Yukiya now has a CHR base, CHR party machine, a ton of High Church units, and then the UPC. And the UPC just had an election, or in the process of having an election. The High Church is here to say hello to democracy. So fun. I'm interested to see the diplomacy between those two factions now. I wonder if Yukiya, if I were the UPC, I would set up like a front government of like a front theocracy, in an effort to maintain my biz in the background. But it is interesting. The church behemoth has arrived. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Cool. Okay. So that brings that leaves the High Church at 8. Yeah, they started at 22. They gained 8, right? Which brought them up to 30. It costs 10 for a hostile takeover, bringing them down to 20. It costs them another 1 for the transit web, and then another 1 for the Demnoff and Yukiya, the second activation of the other transit web. So that puts them at 8 at the end of their turn. And they wanted me to let you know: one God, one faith, one empire. Whew. Church, you're scary. I thought Acre were the bad guys. I'm wrong. I was wrong about that. It makes 18. No, it's so 30 brings it down to 20. Oh yeah. So why? Oh no, each use of the thing and HT is, yeah, it's I have written down the cost as 10, but it's actually the balance is 10, and the cost is 20. Yeah. Sorry. I'm thinking right and my notes are correct, but my saying is wrong. The words coming out of my mouth are incorrect. We can't be the bad guys. We're the status quo. Really. But it's working out good. Like yep, you're being the church I envisioned that you would. Cool. All right. Thank you, High Church. And as always, the High Church wins the award for best presented faction turn orders. They always give me this really nice. Somebody at the High Church knows how to make CSS look nice, and every time they give me this HTML portfolio of orders, and I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you for that. Apparently credit goes to Palax. So Palax, thank you for making your faction orders so easy on my eyeballs. All right. So next up is House Crooks. House Crooks. All right. So from number 9, rising in the charts to number 7, it's House Crooks. Let's see here. Okay. So, House Crooks, you are going to be taking the buy asset action. to purchase a party machine. Okay, that sounds good. I'm into that. That's a nice, easy one. So let's just go and handle your money, and I will give you that right now. House Crooks. Okay, so party machine on Lyra. There we go. Good, good, good. And now I'll do all the money stuff at once. So you start with 3. You gain 4. You gain 6, right? Which brings you up to 9. You'll get another one next time, because that's what... Is that your 3rd party machine, Crooks? Big Crooks money. Let's see. House Crooks. Party machine, party machine, party machine. Damn. All right, Crooks. Okay. So there's that. Buy asset, purchase party machine. You did that. So it costs you 8 to buy it, which brings you down to 1. There we go. And House Crooks would like me to remind you that justice always prevails. Justice always prevails. What I promised House Crooks. Oh yeah, I promised House Crooks a point of experience for something. If Booker died, right? I said I'd refund you an experience point for that fat kid you paid for him. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, he's still alive though, so no need yet. So, 1 second here. All right, so next up, this, I love this. So there was this next turn, there's always this formality where I have to, every turn I have to be like, excuse me, pardon me, would you like to stop them from doing this? And every single time, the person that I ask is like, you know that I don't. We're not going to, but thank you for asking, but no. And every time I wonder, like, will this be the turn? So the Trilliant Ring, is up next. Big seizure here. They're at 8, down from number 7 last time, and they are going to set their new goal this time. So let's see. And because I think planet? No, they're keeping. Let me see. Because I have their order here as set goal, expand influence. But I think but they're still in the middle of seizing. Oh, this is turn 2 of 3. You can't change your goal. What did we do last time? Let me look. This is why we keep track. So, seize planet was their new goal last time. They finished seizing. No, did they seize something last time? Yes, that's right. The goal finished, so they technically have no goal now. Good. That's why we keep track. Okay. So yeah, it was finished last time, and then I was confused because I have a 1 of 3 progress, but I also had the goal. So they finished seizing Pavis last turn. This time they seize again, but this time's goal is expand influence. So that next yeah, okay. I see what you're doing, Trilliant Ring. Got it. Okay. All right. So they changed their new goal is expand influence. Their turn is going to be to let's see, take the expand influence action. Yep. Okay. So let's do their credits first. So Trilliant Ring, their balance is 22 to begin with, and then they gain 2 from their party machines plus the 5 they have, which brings them up to 29. And then they've got to use covert shipping twice, and then once to build a base of influence. Okay, so you're set. I'm doing the end of turn now, but I'll set you 26. Okay. All right, so they're going to expand influence. Okay. All right. And this one, sorry, Houses Minor, so there were a couple of orders this turn that I didn't reach out explicitly because I saw interactions where like I've been paying a lot of attention to the Discord this turn to try to reduce some of this stuff. Reduce some of the drag on the turn. So there is an opportunity. I didn't actually ask about blocking this Hroa move here. But yeah, I think it's fine. But if there's like a problem, if I goofed it up, you got to let me know. But I don't think so. And this is an experiment for me to try to like smooth through this process. Because it can get a little dragged down. But let me double check. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. The UPC can't contest because they only have a base of influence on the planet. You can't, and you can't contest with the base. You have to have like a unit. So the UPC doesn't. They get to watch from their secret lair. Okay. So, and yeah, the Deathless are their buds. Trilliant, Serpents, Deathless, they're friends. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's finish this off. So they're moving Commodities Broker from Demnoff to Hroa, and then Counter Intel Unit from Demnoff to Uranok. Okay. All right. So let me sort by. Okay. Trilliant Ring. Here we go. Okay, so they've got this. Oh, you have a lot of stuff. Here we go. Covert shipping, moving Commodities Broker from Demnoff to Hroa. Commodities Broker, Demnoff to Hroa. Okay, there it goes. And then the other covert shipping to move the Counter Intel Unit from Demnoff to Uranok. Okay, so where's your Counter Intel Unit? There we go. It's Uranok. All right. Got it. Perfect. Okay, and then they get a 1 HP base of influence on Hroa. So Trilliant Ring, base of influence on Hroa. Okay. And that's one. They're buying it for one faction cred. Awesome. Okay. Good. And that is done. They are at 2 of 3 on their Seizure of Berkman. And like I said at the beginning, I asked the High Church, hey, Church, would you like to contest? And they were like, nah, it cool. And then they get their experience for Expand Influence, which I believe is 1, because there was no one there to oppose. And the reason why folks are asking, like, oh, can they oppose, is because it's worth more if they do. But the UPC, you can't oppose if you cannot then follow up with the attack. So the oppose just, it doesn't prompt it. It doesn't happen. Okay, good. All right. Come and see the lightning storms. Yeah. I love the idea that the factions are playing along with a player's paranoia, right? Where like Mark was like, I think there's some kind of like conspiracy going on here. And then the factions that were involved in the conspiracy were like, what if there is a conspiracy though? We should do that. It's great GMing. So thanks for helping me GM Mark. I appreciate that. Please feel free to reach out with me to me about more. I've seen some of your bits and pieces about this conspiracy, and I would love to talk more about it. It's fun stuff. All right, Trilliant Ring. Thank you very much for your turn orders. Next up on the block, what conspiracy are you talking about? None at all, I'm sure. Next up on the block is the Unified People's Collective, the UPC. So menaced now by the church, the UPC has an unsteady future ahead of them. So they are going to take the buy asset action. They're going to buy a party machine on Yakia. And let's do their money. So they are going to get UPC. They start with 10. They get 4, which brings them up to 14. They're going to pay 8 for that guy, which brings them down to 6. And let's give them their new party machine. So Unified People's Collective. What's a party machine? It's like one of those machines that smoke comes out of it, and there's lights and confetti, and so you can have a fun time. That's all right. Party machine. And this is a stealthy machine on Yakia. There it is. Okay. Does it play music too? Yeah. Right. There's always a man to operate it named Andrew. All right, cool. So you get your new asset there, UPC. And the UPC, they have a statement for me to read as well. Let me place that here. The Yakian Mandate has concluded its first ever planet-wide elections. Representatives from every part of Yakia took their seats today in the Constitutional Assembly building in Tanyas as the government was formally formed. We, the Labor Coalition, led by the Party of the Rights of Aliens and Yakian Environmental Restitution, along with our allies, the IUWC, SHDP, YAM, PAY, YIWP, and YWP, with our combined votes, passed the Bill of Governance and assumed power over the executive of Yakia. Equality for aliens, workers, and synths will be guaranteed. And we, the Conservative League, along with our fellow parties, the YDA, YIFSC, FCI, YAN, and YANG, accept the passing of this bill and assume the role of loyal opposition. We shall hold this coalition of chaos to account. May God be with us. I love you, UPC. Thank you so much for that. It's the INF, the NBA, the RFID. You don't even know, man. They're everywhere. And yeah, the election was an awesome little part of lore. I love it. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. I thought we were the People's Front of Judea. Exactly. Yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, they're doing some really neat things. Like what does an attempt to build a democracy look like in a world full of theocratic control, right? Like autocracy. It's a very, very interesting faction to keep an eye on. I've been watching their lore since the beginning, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. I feel like all the real life lawyers in the game ended up in either Prism or Crooks, and I feel like all of the poli-sci students ended up in the UPC. It's pretty great. That's one of my favorite things, is seeing the kinds of stuff that people are interested in their real life and how that reflects in the way they play characters, both in tabletop RPGs, but also in like, I mean, obviously all the furries are in Pixis. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing where everybody shuffles out and where that stuff overlaps. Paul, I just like snakes. I'm just saying, prove me wrong. Where's the lie? All right. What does that say about the 14 red dogs? I don't know. You're a bunch of criminals. Listen, you appreciate family values. That's what that means. I feel like probably if I were joining the faction turn and not being Space Master over it, I would probably make a character in Prism, because I feel like I could use my skills best in that faction. I could just be like, "What's up? I'm a member of the marketing team, the space advert team." Yeah. So, but that's just me using my, but I think a lot of people do that, where they're like, what can I do? What kind of cool stuff can I do? I'm going to join a faction that lets me do that.